Hello, my name is Dr. Maya Byfield. My business is The Phenomenal STEMist. I'm so excited to be here in Orange County because it's where I live. I live in Apopka, Florida. And I decided to make this business because I saw a need for underrepresented students to be successful in STEM, which stands for science, technology, engineering, math. And the best way I can do that is just provide products for parents to prepare them, whether it's a book or online STEM camps or just video podcasting. My goal is to transform this community, especially those who are underrepresented. And the way to do that is to help parents understand their children's minds and basically develop them at different stages of their lives to be prepared for a successful STEM career. Thank you so much. That's why I'm here.
Testing one, two, three. I think you can hear me now. What's going on, you guys? I think you couldn't hear me before, but I'm back. Phenomenal financial freedom. Uh, as I was saying, I am excited about tonight because it's one of my favorite topics. I think it can be really helpful to people. Recently, I saw on social media. I don't know if it's a play, a prank, how they do. They make it seem like it's true that this girl spent $284 a month or bought a old car for $284. It should have cost 200 it should have cost $284 and she's paying $284 per month. And I'm like, Lord, that let not be true. But the $284 a month for 84 months. If we do the math, let's do the math because it is phenomenal financial freedom. It is Math Money Mondays, right? 284 times 84 is basically $24,000. $24,000 for a depreciable used item. I've always said I wasted that kind of money on a brand new item. I wasted that kind of money on my brand new car, my first brand new car. One of my biggest regrets was buying my car brand new, my first car brand new. I could have put money in Amazon, but I put it in this brand new car that depreciates in value that I ultimately gave away. And when I gave it away, it was a better condition than the car that this young lady supposedly, allegedly bought for $24,000 because she probably couldn't understand the concept of 2284 a month. And I think that that's one of the top mistakes that people do when they buy a car. Number one, on the top 6 mistakes, that people do when they buy a car. Number one, the first mistake is they don't shop around. They're impulsive in their buying. They're impulsive in their buying. Okay. So, first off, you should be looking around outside of going to the dealership. Dealership salesmen know once you make it into the dealership, they're not going to let you out. They're not going to let you out. You made it to the dealership, you're a high probability buy. Therefore, you should never go to a dealership on the first try. You should have been shopping around online, shopping around quotes from banks before you even went to the dealership. Before visiting the dealership, you should get quotes from banks and credit unions on what you should pay in interest, everything. You should already, your credit union is like so key. I'm a fan of credit unions. Their interest rates are lower. Okay, so um banks, and going to a bank, going to a credit union before going to a dealership, you'll get a better rate. So get pre-approved for a loan before you go to a dealership. Get pre-approved for a loan before you go to the dealership, and you know exactly what you're going to pay. Number one. The biggest mistake that people make is they don't shop around. Number two, negotiating the monthly payment rather than the purchase price. I experienced this. Listen, I've seen this before, and I've tried to explain this to people all the time. And I've seen the dealership salesmen, they go back to, oh, you'll only be paying $200 a month. You'll only be paying 300. I don't care what you pay over a month. It's about the big sum, because all that other stuff is interest, the all the stuff that they're adding, fees that they're adding to it. Okay, how much are you paying for that car? And don't go higher than that. If you want to pay 20,000 for a car, don't go higher than that. Even if they say, oh, well, you'll only be paying this much a month. This much a month is going to add more than $20,000. It's going to add to $30,000. Especially if they extend your loan to 6 years and 8 years, right? What's 84 months? Huh? 84 divided by 12. We're doing math Money Mondays. That's a 7-year loan. The extending of loans from 4 to 6 now to 7 years is a killer in the context of interest. Interest, you should never pay. If you can't pay off your car in 3 years, it's too expensive. This is what I learned from Susie Arman. If you can't pay off your car in 3 years, it's too expensive. You should not be, I'm not saying you shouldn't get a 6-year term, but you should pay it off. You should afford to pay it off in 3 years. Therefore, you're going to be always doubling up anyway, so you shouldn't care how much the monthly payment is. You need to care how much it costs, and you need to cut that loan down. Don't let them trip you up on the monthly payments. They do it all the time. They keep saying, "Oh, it doesn't matter how much you have to pay per month. Decide how much you want for that car and stick to it. Say, I am only paying $21,000 for this car. I am only paying," and no matter what they say about the monthly payments, say you do not give a rat's behind, because I'm not going to pay it in 6 years anyway. I'm paying it in 3. Number 3, letting the dealer define your credit worthiness. Letting the dealer define your credit worthiness. How worthy of you of credit? Like, I've seen people have awesome credit, have a 5% interest rate. Unbelievable. Get out of here. Go to a credit union. Do not let the dealership determine your credit worthiness. They give bad APRs all the time. New auto loans have an average of 5.16% in 2022. But people with excellent credit get qualified for 3.8% at credit unions. But they don't care at dealerships. They'll give you a 5% no matter how great your credit is. Therefore, listen, people, do not go to dealers for your loans. Number 4, top 6 things that people make a mistake on with their loans. Number 4, they don't choose the right length. They do not choose the right term length. 24 to 84 months. 24 months is 2 years. 24 divided by 12 months is 2. 84 months divided by 12 is 7. The longer terms may be tempting because they say it's lower in amount, but you are paying more in interest. Look what it says in the article. This is coming from bankrate.com. Top 6 loan mistakes that cost you. But the longer you take to prepay your loan, the more interest you will pay. That means the more money you will pay on that card. Do not get long-term limits. And even if you do get long-term limits, please do me a favor and pay it off in 3 years. If you cannot pay that car off in 3 years, meaning you're like, "Oh my god, my car payment is like $800." That means for a 6-year term, that means I would have to pay over $1,600 a month to pay it off in 3 years. I can't afford that. You can't afford the car. You can't afford you're wasting money on the interest of that car. Number 5, financing the cost of the add-ons. If you put financing on the add-ons, all the extra stuff that they add, you're paying interest on what they're selling you. That gap insurance, that extended warranty. Don't get it with the dealership. Wait and go get it later. So what it says, if you want an extended warranty on a gap insurance, these items are available at a lower cost from sources outside the dealership. If you put a loan on what the dealer, it's already upcharged, and then you put a loan on top of it, that is interest added, more money you're paying for something that's not even really worth it. And lastly, number 6, rolling your negative equity forward, meaning you're upside down on your car loan, right? That means you owe more on the car than it's worth. They say roll it over into a brand new car and get a new car. Don't do that. Mistake. You're going to be paying interest on what you currently have and your old car. You see? The key thing is it's costing you. Top 6 car loan mistakes that will cost you. If you roll the equity forward, you're going to be paying double the interest. If you finance the cost of all the add-ons, your extended warranty, your gap insurance, right? Then you're going to pay interest on those things, and you're going to pay double for those things. And some of those dealership ones, you got to make sure you get the information. So for the gap insurance, if you pay it off your car off early, you should be able to get your gap insurance back. But there's some gap insurances that don't have that rule. They don't have a refund. So make sure you get the gap insurance that has the refund. Number 4, not choosing the right term length. If you have too long of a term length, you're going to be paying more on your car. Even if you do a 6-year term length, make sure you pay it off. Number 3, letting the dealer define your credit worthiness. Go to a credit union. If you have awesome credit, you should not be paying 5% on your car. Number 2, negotiating a monthly payment rather than the purchase price. Focus on the whole, not the 12 months. The 12 months can be divided and it sounds really low, and they'll sell you an expensive car with low payments. Rather, you should buy a cheaper whole car and you decide how much you pay off per month. Because you're going to be doubling up on the payments anyway if you're smart. Because you shouldn't be paying a whole bunch of interest on a depreciating item. Lastly, not shopping around. If you do not go to your credit union before and get your APR, get your pre-approval, know exactly what you want, you're more likely to get conned. I hope I helped you guys, because that young lady, if that's the truth, she got conned. Protect your people, y'all. Don't let your friends get conned. See ya. Have a good night. Do me a favor. Don't forget my Phenomenal STEMist book is online on Amazon now as we speak. Make sure you get it. Get it for someone. And don't forget, those of you who have a YouTube page, please subscribe to my channel so that every Monday you can get Math Mondays. Math Money Mondays. You guys have a